we said we were going to do the Founders Award. And so there's a lot of speculation about who's getting. What is it about, the Founders Award? So I want to read this to you to tell you what this award is about. But first, let me preface it by saying that the award is given by the previous people who received the award. So we got together about a month ago and said, okay, who do we think we want to give this award to? So it's given by the people that have gotten the award before. Now, does it mean that you can't nominate somebody? No, because that's part of it. Any of the members can nominate somebody, and then we would come together and say yay or nay. We don't give it every year. If you notice up on there, it's given whenever we have a chance to, really, but we don't give it every year, so it's not something that we give all the time. But let me tell you what this award is about. It's in memory of Arthur Hopkins and Nicola Buona. I'm going to give you a little history, and this is really a history of the club. And shortly after World War II, two gentlemen settled in Jacksonville. They were Arthur Hopkins of London, England, and Nicola Buona of Naples, Italy. Both were accomplished fencers who had won significant titles in their native countries. Both were perfectly representative of their native cities and therefore had very different personalities and fencing styles. However, both loved our sport and devoted much effort of many years to training new fencers and organizing competitions. Now, Arthur Hopkins was the quintessential English gentleman, reserved, dry-witted, upright, soft-spoken, and unfeignedly polite. This concealed a fiercely competitive nature and wicked sense of humor. He was in his 50s, already white-haired and mustached. His fencing style is classical and continental, with small, precise movements and crisp blade play. He was a highly educated structural engineer specializing in steel frame buildings, but worked on defense-related projects during the war. When the steel industry in England was nationalized in the late 40s by the post-war socialist government, he decided to emigrate to the United States with his wife and young son. That was Arthur Hopkins. Now, Nicola Buona was the perfect representative of an upper-class Neapolitan, stylish, and debonair with his slick back hair, dark hair, and pencil-lined mustache. He always had a courtly manner and an eye for the ladies. Italian, right? Okay. Let's not talk about Latino either. Okay. Outgoing and outspoken, he talked with his hands, his expressive face always with a dramatic flair. His fencing style was just as dramatic. He typified the Italian style of fencing that concentrated on movement, timing, and distance, punctuated with shouts of "A la." Nick had graduated from the University of Naples and joined the Italian Army as a lieutenant in the Mountain Artillery. Many of the fencing titles he won in the Italian Army fencing team. He participated in the Italian invasion of Albania and was captured by the British Army in one of the desert campaigns in North Africa early in the war. It was in a British prisoner of war camp that he learned to speak English. Although his grammar and vocabulary were excellent, he never lost a heavy Italian accent. And that's true, because I knew Nick. After the war, he earned his law degree and worked for the Bank of Naples. He then met and married an American Army nurse and came with her and their new son to this country. Here, he turned his hobby of cooking into a successful Italian restaurant in downtown Jacksonville called Nicola's. The two men were total opposites in many ways, including fencing styles, but were brought together by the love of our sport. They both devoted many years and much effort to training new fencers. After training in various places, they finally found a home in the newly built YMCA building on Riverside Avenue. Now, this was in the late 50s. So by 1961, there were enough trained and active fencers to form the Jacksonville Fencing Club and the Gateway Division of Florida under the Amateur Fencing League of America. Now the United States Fencing, not the United States Fencing Association anymore, it's U.S. Fencing, right? So it's taken on different names throughout the years. These two gentlemen influenced many young people both by their training and personal example. They were the founders of the Jacksonville Fencing Club. So they will be remembered in the fencing community of Jacksonville. There is instituted the Jacksonville Fencing Club Founders Award. This award is to be given from time to time to the individual, group, or company that has done something significant towards supporting the sport of fencing in Jacksonville. Anyone can nominate a candidate for the award. The judging for the award is to be done by the past recipients of the award. And each recipient will receive a permanent plaque, and their name will be recorded on the Founder Award itself. So, the recipient of the Founders Award. So it says here, awarded in memory of Arthur Hopkins of London, England, and Niccolo Buono of Naples, Italy. Champion fencers, they brought their skills and love of their sport to the Jacksonville, training a new generation of fencers and founding the Jacksonville Fencing Club. Presented to Tom Tuck. For once, he's speechless.
Well, I can't say I wouldn't have been upset. I would have not been upset if I had got it. But as you can tell, I really am quite honored by this. I've been with the club now for 10 plus years, and it's done so much for me, getting to know all of you, and all the people that have been in the club in the past. It's afforded me opportunities to travel, to teach fencing. Even though I'm not an official coach, I feel like I've been to Mexico, I've been all over the United States. It's kind of shy, right? So, thank you so much.
Okay, so the announcement, we're not moving to a new place. And you heard that we are doing very well, so your dues are still going to stay the same for now. And we have, what, about 54 members now, and still getting inquiries all the time. So that's a good thing. So the state of the club is excellent. So here's the announcement. Last September, I met with these guys here. We had a long 2-hour meeting. It was September 2015, by the way. And so at that point, I told them that I was going to retire. September 1st. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. So during that time, behind the scenes, we have looked at different people to take over this club. And so your new head coach, starting September 1st, will be Princess Rashid. And so she's asked me to read this fencing bio to you. Princess Rashid is an accomplished competitive fencer, coach, and visual artist. She has won many United States Fencing Association national championship medals in all 3 weapons, foil, and saber. She has also been the Southeast Sectionals Gateway Divisional and Florida State Games champion in all 3 weapons in consecutive years. In 2006, she won the Women's FA National Championship title. Rashid is also recognized by the United States Coaches Association as a Monitor Foil Certified Coach and is currently studying for her Prevo classification. For 5 years, from 2002 to 2007, she served as the assistant fencing coach at the Jacksonville Fencing Club. So this is nothing new to her. Working under under me. While in Jacksonville, she conducted very successful summer fencing camps at the Episcopal School of Jacksonville and assisted fencing camps at the Jewish Community Alliance. And from 2009 to 2012, she served as a conditioning and footwork coach at the Tampa Fencing Academy in Tampa, Florida, working under head coach Boyko Krastovich. She has studied fencing and trained under many great coaches, which I all know. Joe Kresovic and Bill Murphy. Bill Murphy is now the owner of Leon Paul USA. Also Gene Getler, who's been a lifetime friend of mine. We fenced in New York together, as a matter of fact. And then we have the Egyptian connection, which are, these three guys are like great friends of mine. You know, they're coaches also, and they are friends for life. The first one is Waleed Marine. He was the Athletic Club Northeast in Atlanta. The other one is Hossam Hassan. He's in St. Louis, right? Abdel Salam, at the Air Force Academy. And Amgad Hasbak, who was the women's foil Olympic coach. And let me just tell you how close I have been with that group. When I went to the last Nationals, Amgad had been named the women's Olympic foil coach. And I walked in there and he was doing training with the ladies, and he came right over and we hugged, and it was great. So she's got a lot of great tutelage, including myself. But I know these coaches, they're fantastic coaches. So she's got a lot to offer here. Let me just finish this. As a visual artist, Rashid has exhibited her sport fencing paintings and prints around the United States since 2004 at various regional and national USFA sanctioned tournaments. Her fencing art can be found in private collections throughout the world, including Great Britain, Portugal, and Australia. And in 2011, she was commissioned to paint the portrait of Florida fencing legend Jim Campoli. In 2012, her painting entitled The Parry won the third prize in the Juried Florida Watercolor Society online show. And in 2016, several prints of her work were given as prizes at the River City Duel to You Drop. She currently lives with her drone-flying husband. Hey, I got a drone that I haven't even took out of the box yet. Okay. And two beautiful daughters in Jacksonville. She is also a breast cancer survivor in the process of completing adjuvant chemotherapy. Princess Rashid. Okay, so I was one coach in this club, and I did it all. But now we're going to have a princess and two people assisting her. So it's going to take three of them to do what I did. So that's only a joke. Okay, assisting princess will be Tim Crosby, and I am reading a bio on him there. Tim Crosby began his fencing career in 1999 as a way to spend quality time with his wife. But little did he know where this activity would lead. As a part of his undergraduate studies, Tim completed a minor in coaching with the intention of someday becoming a coach. His coaching career continued in the sport of hockey, which he began shortly after moving to Florida in 1995. Tim has become a ranked fencer in all three weapons, regularly renewing his ratings and always pursuing that elusive B in foil. In his competitive career, Tim has competed in local, state, divisional, and national competitions, earning nearly 120 medals. After taking a few years off to enjoy a long-awaited daughter, he returned to fencing with a renewed passion and enjoyment of the sport. In addition to his competitive career, Tim is a nationally rated fencing director who traveled extensively starting in 2001 to referee at NAC events as well as summer nationals. Tim joined the Jacksonville Fencing Club in 2002 to enjoy more competitive adult fencing. Tim Crosby. The third person in the trio who's behind the camera. Will Cook. Will Cook started fencing in 2005 and has been fencing for 11 years. He's an A-rated in foil and B-rated in epee. He has also competed at many national events around the country. His coach has been myself since day one. I remember when he came in. He loves teaching classes and giving private lessons. So, this is your new crew. Princess, you're up.
Well, hi. And, I'm happy to be here. I'm very excited. I'm a little overwhelmed and moved. But I'm definitely going to open this up to questions if you guys have any. But I just want to tell you that, like I said, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about our future. There's a lot of innovative training programs that I want to implement and push us to the next level, represent the city, represent our state, and be a strong force for American fencing. So I'm excited about those ideas and working with you this last month. Some of the students I've been able to meet, I'm very impressed with the caliber of student and your passion for the sport and your interest and the respectfulness you have to the weapons, to the sports, and to your coaches. So I think there's a great ground here, a great foundational ground here. We've had excellent leadership, and I plan to continue and push even further. So, is there any questions?